So this is this highly anticipated action RPG set in Seattle, where you play a vampire who just woke up after sleeping for 100 years. The game's hook is essentially that you've accidentally absorbed another vampire, and now he's just a voice living in your head. The game switches between you exploring modern Seattle and flashback sequences, where you actually play as the other vampire working as a detective, before everything went wrong. So what makes this stand out is just the whole vampire fantasy angle, because there really are not many games that let you properly play as a creature of the night in a modern city. But unfortunately the game does have some rather pressing downsides. So very quickly, here's a quick summary of the story setup, because it's fairly interesting. You basically wake up with 0 memories and a strange mark on your hand. Seattle's vampire leadership just collapsed because their prince got murdered. So now his successor is trying to hold things together while rebels cause chaos. You meet different power players like Lou Graham, the former leader who still pulls strings from the shadows, and Benny, the sheriff who goes rogue hunting thin bloods. The game's voice work is solid, and these characters have personality, which helps since you spend a lot of time in conversations. And I mean a lot of time. The main story missions take you through investigations and confrontations with different factions. Though there's side content that feels like filler. You'll get repetitive tasks to go kill certain people or collect things. And after doing a few, you realize they're all pretty similar. The Masquerade is the main restriction on what you can do. Basically, vampires have this rule that mortals can't know they exist. So if you start feeding on people in public or climbing up buildings where everyone can see you, a meter fills up. Push it too far and other vampires will kill you for breaking the code. This means you're constantly looking for opportunities. Once you're above the streets away from witnesses, you can actually move like a vampire, sprinting fast and gliding between buildings. That traversal feels really smooth when you're free to use it. The combat is all first-person melee, which is pretty different. You're dealing punches and kicks that can send people flying because of your vampire strength. Each clan gives you different supernatural abilities like telekinesis, time manipulation, blood sorcery, or stealth powers. When you beat enemies, you can either finish them off or feed on them to regain health. That said, the combat can get messy, especially when multiple enemies surround you, since the camera and targeting are not always responsive, and sometimes the enemy AI just stands there or does strange things. The feeding is how you get stronger. Random NPCs walk around the streets and you use vampire vision to see their hearts and figure out what kind of blood they have. You can persuade them to follow you somewhere private, or simply pick a fight, or use vampire powers to manipulate them. Their different blood types give you different resources for unlocking new abilities. The clan you pick determines your starting powers, but you can actually branch out and learn abilities from other clans too, so there's more freedom than you'd expect. Now the problem is progression kind of front loads a lot of your abilities, so by the middle of the game you've already unlocked most of the interesting powers. The Flashback Sections let you play as Fabien before he died. He's a vampire detective who works with the police, and he has this whole noir detective vibe. The game does a good job making you feel like you're uncovering mysteries from 2 different time periods. The game's RPG side falls short because your dialogue choices are mostly just for flavor. Yes, your background and clan add some unique lines, but they don't dramatically alter the story. It's more linear than it presents itself to be. The atmosphere is probably the strongest part, and the soundtrack fits the vibe too. It's very ambient and atmospheric when you're just exploring the city at night. The game had a messy development, and it's not the complex RPG that fans of the 2004 game wanted. It's more action focused with lighter role-playing elements. And that sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.